to stop evil, knowing the vision. Glad to stop people going to prison. Future, present, and odd past. Super presence on podcasts. Laughing or frown, lasting or drown. Sat on pods like passing the crown. Odd pass, you pick out plain English. Podcast, blue tick, and James English.
Been through a lot and came out the other side. Learned a lot about myself along the ride. Now I'm living my best life.
Hey honeys, and welcome back to another episode of It's a Girl's World with myself, Near Inspired, and the amazing
Reasonings with Empress Lee. Hey.
So today, this is a special HMP edition that we're doing today for It's a Girl's World. So basically, me and Lee was away together, wasn't we?
We was, yeah. We was in Send.
We was in Send together,
Yeah.
wasn't we? And we wasn't actually friends.
No, we
like
didn't even
that.
live on the same, in the same step, like same place. She was on
the open wing living her best life, and I was up there like caged in like an animal.
Literally.
But you know, prison's prison, regardless of wherever you are.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And everyone's facing battles in their own way for what cards they're dealt at the time. How did you find being down there? Because I know where you was on the like this. Lee was on like the semi-open kind of part, and what was it like? Because I mean, we'd have gave our right leg up there to be down there.
It was. Do you know what? It wasn't as good as everyone made it seem. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really horrid in terms of like there was quite a lot of racism down there.
Oh really?
Yeah, there was a lot of racism down there.
Wow.
There was even a time when the governor set up a meeting and asked me to come in.
Yeah.
And asked the question of why is there so much percentage of black and ethnic so low on ENF? I said because your officers are literally the racist. They don't treat us.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But other than that, I didn't get the benefits of it. You used to get let out at 6, go back in at 10. But I got there I think like 3-4 weeks before COVID.
Oh.
For lockdown.
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
But you got to cook, right?
Yeah, I got to cook.
Yeah.
Got to
At least
cook.
you got to eat.
We had a George Foreman down there.
Jeez.
Just before I got there. I heard about it. I didn't get to use it though.
Oh no.
I think we made-
You come through scraping the barrel of what's left.
Yeah, we used to make chapatis in the toaster and...
Who was down there before? I can't remember. Oh, I can't actually remember. But if you're watching this, big up you. Because I used to get like banana fritters, stuff like that sent up.
Oh my God, who was that again?
I actually ordered banana fritters last night from a Caribbean takeaway, and it was like a whole, but you know they're thin, aren't they, fritters?
Yes.
It was like half a banana, all burnt and like soggy. It was like raw in the middle, vile. Anyway, I wish I could remember the name of the place
It wasn't in
to
South
shout
London.
out and say don't order from them. No, it was in East.
Yeah, it went in South. Definitely went in
No,
South.
it wouldn't have been in South. They know how to
Definitely
cook. They know to cook fritters in South.
Literally.
If they don't, come on.
But yeah, it was a journey, you know, and like I said, we wasn't friends, but since prison and coming home and, you know, understanding and there's a community that's needed.
1,000,000%.
You know, the mental health is real.
1,000,000%.
The trauma in prison is real.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the things that we go through are also so similar.
Yeah,
you know.
they are. And I think that it's so vital for, like we said, you know, we knew of each other in there, but we wasn't friends like that. But, you know, what is needed out here as to why we have connected is because we're trying to create a movement.
That's right.
And we both have the same vision, passion and purpose for change.
That's right.
For empowering each other.
Yeah.
And everybody else,
And all
ultimately.
the other women that have come out, even if they've come out like 20 years ago, like I've had people come and say, you know, my God, I've gone to prison in my 20s, and I haven't been able to speak about it until I've heard you talk about your story, you know, because as women, we don't really have that space.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
talk about prison.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, don't talk about it.
Yeah, and for women as well, it's also seen as it's like shameful.
Yeah.
Not that it's, you know, I'm not here bigging it up. None of us will. It's not something, you know, to be proud of, whether you're male or female. But more so, like you said, as women, it's more of like a you wouldn't want people to. It discredits you,
especially as a mother.
as a woman.
My daughter was like almost 2 when I
Yeah.
went to prison. You know, and it's a bit of a disgrace in some ways that you have to deal with. That I felt disgraced. Put it that way.
From by yourself.
Yeah, I felt disgraced
Did you?
about you know leaving my daughter in that situation. But again, the community that I've built outside through prison has helped with that.
Yeah,
you know,
1,000,000%.
It's helped with that. So yeah, on that note, we've decided to, you know, form a bigger community now.
Yeah.
Where we're going to start supporting women and children and families that come out of prison with no support.
Yeah, yeah.
As
Very low income, like a lot of women A lot of women do. They've come out, they've got young children, they've got to try and pick up from where they left off. With a lot of women that end up in prison have already got a history of trauma, a history of all sorts of stuff, but then there's more then created due to the prison experience.
That's right.
And then you're then coming back out as mum, and you've then got more of the mum guilt, more the trauma from the prison, more of all that stuff. But you've then got an expectation of you've got to be more.
That's right.
Because you wasn't around.
And everyone expects that of you because it's kind of either what you did before or because you're mum. You know, but they forget about you. You know, and the one-to-one mentoring comes into that. The the podcast, having a voice to be able to speak openly, safely. You know, these things have changed lives. They've changed attitudes. They've changed people's homes. Their perspectives and their dreams.
100%. And we love that, and we're so here for that.
Definitely.
We've got we're no, we are. We're so here for it. It's amazing, and I think what we try and do as well is like we want to be. You know, we know what we need. We know what we needed. We know the things that we didn't have. We know the pressures and expectations on yourself and from others. And we know the lack of support services and, understanding.
And we are literally the experts by experience. And even in like the government world, in my role, I'm an experiential advisor. So even they're recognising that, people that have the experience are the experts. We are the ones that are able to get through to people.
Of course.
Make them understand. And it's not just about the prison. It's about even like post-prison, like probation, things like that. Having someone that you can relate to, that you can talk to.
Of course.
So
and it's hard because it's like, there's so many people out there that are well educated textbook-wise, but then when it comes down to trying to relate to them or your probation officer or, somebody in some kind of role that doesn't have the life experience that you need some understanding or reassurance on or to gain some kind of guidance through, they can have done all the degrees in the world, but they can't give you that.
That's right.
Whereby us, other people that could have none of that, be like borderline illiterate.
Absolutely.
And, you could gauge more from them.
Yeah.
That could have be more effective for you going forward and in that moment and ultimately saves lives more than any of them. So that's why we're so passionate about what we do.
Absolutely. And do you know what? I mean? We've had like officers that we've been in prison with reach out.
Oh, really?
In DMs. I have had a few.
Sliding in your DMs?
Sliding in my DMs, and they're like, big up.
Shout out, thanks for the vodka. No, I'm joking.
No, seriously, big them up, shout them out because it's inspiring.
Yeah, it is. I love that.
And they're like, what? It's nice to see you doing so well, and also,
I love the appreciation and the recognition
and the relatability. The fact that they're coming up with things like they suffering from PTSD. Anxiety, depression because of the experience of being an officer in the prison. So
wow, I can see how that could happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. It's all great stuff, and it's like, not all prisoners are bad, not all people that end up in prison are bad people. So then ultimately to have that view and to have that as such a strong belief, you've also got to flip the coin on that and say, well, not all prison officers are bad as well.
Absolutely.
Just because they lock the doors, it's a job. Yeah, don't get me wrong, some of them are right nasty pieces of work, but so are some prisoners.
That's right.
You can't brush everybody with the same brush. Because I remember this one time when I was in Send, actually, and it was COVID, really, really awful. But we'll go into that a lot deeper in another episode, because I think there's so much more that we need to get out there about that. But I was going through a really, really hard time. I'd not long been put up in my ADHD meds. So saying how I'm a live wire. I've always been like it. Even with ADHD meds, I am still like this. Yeah. And from a prison officer or maybe doctor in their point of view, it's the same reason why they feed you all carbs, the same reason why they want you all on quetiapine. They want you lazy, they want you fat, they want fatigue, they want all of that. So anyway, no matter the medication I was on and the sentence that I had, I was still like that. Yeah. So they was constantly trying to put my medication up more and more. And because they was just thinking, how was this girl still so like that?
And I remember you. That's how I remember you.
Yeah.
Always
always.
All through COVID.
Yeah, it's not normal.
I'd come on the main block to do the cleaning and I could just hear you.
Hear me, yeah. And it's like, that's just how I've always been. Yeah. Doesn't mean that I'm having the time of my life. It doesn't mean that I'm happy. I'm obviously not. But it's just a coping mechanism that I built up from such a young child that is how I deal with things. You just smile through the pain, or I just felt like, I'd make it harder for myself And I'd never wanted to show that kind of sign of vulnerability as well, you know? So yeah, anyway, back to the medication thing. So they was then always putting the medication up more, but it's very strong. This, it's like a controlled drug for the ADHD, really strong. And they put it up higher at this one point in COVID. And I took it, but I mean, I didn't sleep for about 3 days first because it's got amphetamine in it, which if you've got ADHD, it goes the other way. Yeah, but it kept me up for about 3 days. And I mean, I was in a right odd place mentally, really, really, really strange place. I slept on the floor. I smoked about 4 packs of vapes in one night, just trying to, I was wigging out. It was really odd. And I remember I was really not in a good place. And then this officer, Nikki, big up Nikki, she's watching. Oh, yeah, I remember Nikki. All the officers were at my door and I was like screaming, like cracking up, like just leave me alone, because they wasn't understanding how I was. Normally I'd blag my 20-minute room clean and I'd be out blagging them all day. Yeah. And then it was like 3 days and I hadn't even tried to come out for one room clean. So that, to them, it's like, this is really concerning because no matter what, Nia's always up to something. She always hear her. You know what I mean? And I wasn't like that. So it brought a lot of attention to me. And then I was just like really, really distressed, really, really upset, just like screaming for them to just go and leave me alone. And a lot of them had gone and they was like, she's fucking cracking right up in there. No one opened the door, just treating me even more like an absolute imbecile. And then all the officers had gone, and then Nikki, she looked through the thing and she waited for him to go and she opened the door. She's like, fuck them, I know you, and I know I'm a mother and I can see that you just need a hug. She's like, I'm coming in, I'm giving you a hug. And she literally just come in and she gave me a hug, and honestly, it was like I was crying my eyes out. And you know, I really needed that that day, you know, and I wasn't going to hurt anyone. I wasn't a threat to anyone. I was just a young girl, really, really distressed, being dosed up on all this medication that I didn't understand, hadn't slept for days, and then you get treated. You know, we're beings of habit. The way you treat, it's like you know, what is it they say? Monkeys say,
monkey see, monkey do.
You know, you can't treat someone like an animal, and then when they start, you know, you're dosing me up like a guinea pig, and then when they start acting crazy or erratic, it's like you can't then sit there and treat, you know, you can't be surprised on that someone can behave like that or be so distressed like that after the way you treat them. You treat people like animals, they act like them.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when there's no trauma-informed training.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I saw those cases, like, I went to 6 different prisons in that time, so I saw that, like, tenfold, and it was literally laziness. You know, it was easy to lock the door and lock you in there for the rest of the day. It was to actually have that 2-minute conversation. So
and it's so sad because I've seen so many things like you probably have away, and really, really heartbreaking stuff that, you know, like me, that situation then. Honestly, when she gave me that hug and I was crying so much and she was like squeezing me, I'd instantly just felt a wave of relief when she'd gone. Yeah, it was still hard to bear at that point of what I was going through, but I felt more able to do it.
You got a release.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a release.
I got a release, and it's so sad because I've seen so many people in there going through such difficult times, and you're not looked at from a point of view, like you said, as she's traumatized or she's really distressed or she's been abused, that's why she's like that, she's this, that's why she's like that. You know, understanding help, like the trauma, you know, some the trauma informed practices and stuff like that. It is a lot of places, it's a very cold, brutal place. And it's really heartbreaking to see, especially with, it's heartbreaking on both sides of, I've seen young girls like that and it's broke my heart because I'd look at them and think, oh, do you know what? You've got your whole life ahead of you. If someone just gets in and helps you now, you'll be fine. Yeah. And then I'd look at older ladies and I'd think, if you had a bit when you was younger, you may have a bit more.
This is it. But you know, you've also got the point that when they come out, there is that time to change. That it's just a little motivation, you know, a little bit of makeup, a little getting down your nails, a fresh clothes, you know, having the things for your children that you want. Those things, like, they're so needed.
They are.
And it's just as impactful as it is for having a support in prison.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
I'm passionate about is trying to make sure that there's a space for people to always have something.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, if you need clothes, it's there.
Yeah.
You know, if you need something, it's there, because, you know, as women, our personal hygiene gets overlooked.
Yeah.
You know, there's things that we shouldn't be paying for as women.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the prison, we don't pay for it. We get that.
Yeah.
And then you come out and you have to use the little money you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
these things are just overlooked. No one actually thinks, like, you know, women have stuff every single month. How is it paid for?
Yeah, yeah.
How does that work? You know, and how does that affect your mental?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff in different countries related to that.
Okay.
Actually, it's maybe a bit graphic, so I'm not going to go into it now because we haven't got too long. But yeah, some really, really crazy stuff. But it's because they're living in poverty.
Yeah.
And in London, Britain, the UK, I don't feel like there should be any families living in a state of poverty that extreme that people are in today's world. We are, we're in the top 5 richest countries in the world, I believe. Don't quote me, but I believe that's true.
When people are getting released from prison in COVID with sleeping bags. Yeah.
Exactly. No, exactly.
Like, really?
No, exactly, yeah. Did you know how many rooms was it? Where's my phone? You got your phone?
No, it's down there.
Right, yeah, mine's over there as well. 700 and something rooms there is in Parliament. Empty rooms, did you know that?
Wow.
700 and something empty rooms in Parliament doing nothing. And they are not allowed to be supplied to the homeless.
Do you know what bugs me, off topic? The bathhouses.
I don't know what that is, hon.
The bathhouse. Used to have bathhouses when I was growing up.
Oh, really?
Where you could just go and have a bath.
Oh, wow.
Do you never, you're going to have to Google it. There used to be bathhouses all over the UK where people could just go and have a bath. But
not anymore, darling.
Yeah, there's none of that. So it's like, where are they supposed to wash?
No one cares. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. They don't care if you die on the way. Mic drop. No, but it's...
Yeah, it is that real.
You know, it really is sad. But that's why we do what we do. That's why I'm near inspired. That's why you are...
Reasons with Empress.
And that is why we're here. Yeah?
Definitely.
And that is why we do what we do, and we're so passionate about the things that we are. We're trying to make change. We're trying to create a movement, unite together as a community, let the people that haven't got a voice be heard, be supported. You're not forgotten. You're not less valuable than you was before. You're not less of a woman or less credible than other people because you've been through some stuff and you've ended up away.
No, you're powerful.
You're powerful.
You are enough.
You are enough. Exactly. So we've got you work for St Giles, right?
Yeah, I do.
You work for Lee works for St Giles. We're actually got we're doing got an event coming up that we're creating. Not with them, but yeah, event that we're organising coming up soon. That's going to be really great for women affected by the criminal justice system, coming out in the very low incomes.
There's a lot of little mini projects coming up.
Loads of stuff
with organisations that are already working within the prisons.
That
I've seen, because again, ones with the lived experience are literally the ones that are going to be able to make these changes and make them stand.
Yeah, and we are living proof, and I think that we are a testament to what we do by being ourselves, and I think that is so vital for it would be wasted if we wasn't to do the things that we do.
Oh, 100%. I've had to fight too much to get to where I am today.
Straight.
With that journey, especially, you know, family and friends that they mean well.
Yeah.
But they don't understand the journey like how we do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's hard to go through a situation like that, especially when it's not the norm for you.
Yeah.
Right? That's another thing. When it's not the norm, or it's a place where, you know, you just want to do better for your life, and then you come out and then there's no one there. Do you
find that, I know I have myself, I always stutter when I'm on air. Normally I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I know for myself when I've got out, I felt about quite isolated at times.
At times?
Yeah.
All the time.
And I do it a lot, and I have people close to me get onto me. I think it was only the day before yesterday, saying the same thing, but I think I've become so institutionalised and being on my own. I hate not being around the people that care about me, because ultimately I love them and I missed them for so long and I love them. But then at the same time, I've got this cloud that comes in my brain, like that overwhelms me and almost forces me to isolate.
I understand that. Yeah,
I find it really hard.
Yeah, I find that. Definitely find that, especially, in different areas of my house.
Yeah.
I'll find that I would
in the bathroom,
seclude myself to my kitchen. Like my kitchen will be like that's my space.
Yeah.
Especially if I've got my daughter, isn't it? So
yeah,
I've still got that isolation part of me that just wants to be on my own.
Yeah.
But I've got a front room which is just hers.
Yeah.
She's got my room which is hers. So I use the kitchen and I find myself
like a little safe space.
Yeah, I just lock myself in there, definitely. But yeah, coming out of that situation, it's been hard, man. It's been hard.
And it's an everyday battle. I remember my brother saying to me, he was like, "Oh, but you've been out like a year and a half now, Nia. Like, you know, you need to stop this. You need to stop this."
I stopped answering that question.
I remember sitting there thinking, "Oh, you mean well," and I know he means well. I love him, and I know he means well. But I'm sitting there and I'm just thinking, I wish I could. I wish you knew. I wish you felt how I felt. I wish you could understand how unbearable. Yeah.
I'm not the knee, and I think that was the hard thing with family friends. They know you so well, and they're looking at it and they're thinking, you've changed, but they're not embracing the change. They want you to go back. And I'm like, look,
they don't understand that you can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
I even had to understand that I can't.
Yeah, same.
I was trying, you know.
Same.
I didn't go to gatherings, like, I'm talking family functions, nothing. And people used to think, like, what is wrong with her?
Yeah,
like,
people start to think that it's them. What I've had, my people have thought that it's them. If I've done something near and stuff like that. Now, I've had to, I don't repeat myself on it now. I've said it a couple of times. No, it's not. This is just how I am. Either people get it, or, you know, I'm not having you messing with my peace anymore, trying to make me...
Do you find that the newer people kind of get you more than the people that have known you? Like, for years?
I don't know, you know.
I find that with this experience, the understanding of where I'm at mentally, with my experience, I find it's more understood with the people I've not known over like 5 years.
Really?
But the ones I've grown up, because they're still,
because they've got an expectation of you.
They're still waiting for that, and I'm like, that's not here.
Yeah. So you will always be seen to them as different, or you've changed.
The leader, which I still am, but there's an element
in different
of vulnerability
ways
in me now,
of course,
and I'm not as strong as I was, and I've got a bit of weakness now, and I'm embracing it.
But you've got immense powers as well that you never had before due to it. So it's there's pros and cons to it, right?
And that's why talking about it is so important. Talk, because you will be able to resonate. People will watch this and they'll think, oh, I've heard my friend say that, or I've seen my cousin do that. Because that's all you've got to do. You just got to start listening. Listen to the people that have been away and just listen to them, man.
And then it will make them feel more, I believe, like I know when people are understanding with me, when I'm, you know, communicating effectively with them about it and they're understanding, it makes it safer for me to be more vulnerable.
That's right.
I isolate less because I feel like the expectation on me is less because they understand me. And it's a whole game changer. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like 1,000,000%. So, you know, if you're watching, just give us a break. Do you know what I mean? Literally, just give us a break, because, you know, we are trying, doing our best, and, you know, surprising ourselves
every day.
Every damn day.
Literally.
And we're not gonna stop. So yeah, on that note, we're going to be back for more.
Yeah, we are, definitely.
For more content like this. So everyone like, share and comment. And if you haven't, make sure that you subscribe. Nia Inspired at YouTube. Sorry. And I want to thank...
Reasonings with Empress Lee.
Reasoning with Empress Lee, my darling, for coming on today.
Yes, I'm here. And my socials are Reasonings with Empress Lee on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram.
So get following, my darlings, and we've got plenty more to come. So thank you for watching. It's a Girls' World HMP edition, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Now I'm living my best life.